Okay, so I'm sure y'all, some of y'all are wondering, Joe, what are you doing way out here again? Well, I am grabbing buckets full of lava that I'm gonna use elsewhere in the map. And I'm sure you're then wondering, well, wait, where are you gonna use buckets of lava? And the answer is anywhere I dang well please, in search of any, wool that I might have left undiscovered. I have a huge quantity of torches and 2 buckets of lava, which I figure should be enough to light up most of that area and give me a much better feel for what to expect when I'm down. So I've got all I need to start exploring the Undersky, and I was thinking that because this might take a little while, this would be a good opportunity to tell y'all a little bit about what I did this weekend. I was fortunate enough to attend the AIGA Nashville think tank conference. For those of you who don't know, AIGA is the kind of the guild for graphic designers. Technically, AIGA was originally an acronym, although when we are asked what AIGA stands for nowadays, we are supposed to say excellence in design, because, you know, that is funnier than saying, well, it used to stand for something and now it's just the American International something something. And so that's kind of how AIGA got named AIGA instead of something else that it used to be. But that's not what I did this weekend. I didn't go rename a graphic design guild, because that would be excellent and awesome, but it's not, whoa, that's a slime. It's not what I did. So what I did was I actually attended the conference, and we had a lot of really interesting speakers. And let's see, is there anything up on this pillar here? Climbing this might give me some idea of what lies ahead, since I can actually see further when I'm higher up. Any sign of a box? Nope, none. So anyway, there were a bunch of speakers. One of them, Joe Duffy. I particularly enjoyed him talking about some of the work he's done for places like the Bahamas, or like Knob Creek liquor, which is a bourbon, actually, I guess, and things like that. You know, and I learned a bunch of different interesting things about graphic design and, you know, running a practice and stuff that isn't necessarily of interest to y'all. So I'm probably just going to cover, like, the little fun fact type things, little factoids, if you will. Apparently, for example, did you know that Coca-Cola owns more orchards than anyone else in the world? I personally had no clue that Coca-Cola owned any orchards. But apparently, as, you know, people have become more health conscious or whatnot, Coca-Cola has been buying juice companies. And they've got really cool labels for the new juices, which is good. But, you know, just one of those things. Ah, there's a bunch of little slimes. I was not prepared for that. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, apparently Coca-Cola owns more orchards than anyone else. So if you wanted to own more orchards than anyone else, they're the guys to beat. You know, I gotta learn not to hit my hood hide button when I'm trying to actually, like, do things. Let's see, if I could get some elevation somewhere, that might be helpful. So I'm just gonna jump up here real quick and see how far. Wow, I really can't see very far right here. The ceiling's pretty low. So let's see, there's our whole little nether area. This back here is pretty much entirely unlit, so we're gonna go ahead and I think just focus on that. But it was a really interesting little conference. One of the speakers, actually, a Miss Bingham Burke, actually has spent years working on consumerism and doing all sorts of interesting stuff where she would, like, draw a picture of one thing she purchased a day, and she's been doing that sort of thing for years now. And you know, she does stuff where she goes ahead. Whoa, spider there. That is not what I was hoping to see, spider. Okay, this is I need to make sure I don't run backwards into a fire. I'm not really hungry enough to need a golden apple, but let's go ahead and eat it anyway. That'll speed up our health regeneration there. Okay, so let's see, where was I? I was over here. But yeah, or she would go interview people at Target and ask them to talk about like why they were making the purchases they were making, and just interesting little stuff. Like she would get into the habit of doing something every day or every other day or every Tuesday, or set rules for herself because she found it was easier to be creative when she kept herself on like a schedule. And you know, she would just start accumulating these pieces of work, and then patterns would start emerging, and she could reinvest those into developing new pieces of work, and just kind of, you know, stuff would just kind of grow out of things, which is interesting to me. Seeing, like, you know, how work evolves when you kind of have an idea for a project. You never know what the next thing's going to be. So I'm looking at this right here, and this is looking like exactly the sort of area that I'm going to want to just dump the lava in down here. So I'm going to actually probably climb back here and knock this out. And let's see here. Throw a little bit of light down. We must be getting close to the area where you could fall through to the void that I did not like earlier. Yeah. Another fella, Justin Arbin from Rule 29 Design, was talking about his travels in Africa and his work with like charities and stuff there, and making documentaries and stuff. And it's really interesting how if you are self-employed, and how if you run your own business and you want to do something good that helps people, you can just kind of make a lot of your own rules. I mean, you got to be profitable first. You can't just, you know, start doing pro bono work and expect to feed yourself and employ people. But if you're already fairly profitable, you can just go out and say, hey, whoa, there's an Enderman there. Not looking at him. I don't think I hit him with my crosshairs, but let's be careful. You know, it's one of those things where it's always inspiring, I guess, to see people who have kind of made it. And, you know, because even though they're doing great, they're still working hard to keep developing their practices and grow in new ways. We'll just keep on running through here and planting torches and exploring and killing monsters and doing whatever until we find our way to any sort of fleecy boxes that may yet remain. Any residual prizes for unrepentant continued activity or whatnot. But I also want to plant some jack-o'-lanterns because I think they're neat. Well, the problem with being this low is now I can't tell if I'm somewhere I've been. That's okay too, because check this out. We can just take this up here till we're above the level of everything and just scope around. Okay, so we know we covered that entire corner back there. So let's go this way. I think that should take us to a new area. And I've been spending a lot of time gathering resources in hopes of playing this part of the map more viable. I got me some extra cobblestone so I can block up any of them holes down into the void like that one once was. And I hear creatures and I can't see anything, so I'm a little bit frightened. Like, I'm pretty sure right there, that's a hole into the void. So we're just gonna block that up right quick. And oh, I hate not being able to see. We're gonna block that up. And I hear that spider. I know he's about, but I can't see him. Okay, that's not a hole into the void. That is. Blocking that up. Ugh, providing any illumination at all seems just like futile here. Look at how dark it is. And the ceiling's so low I can't even dig upward and get a good scope of everything. Oh, what's that? That appears to be... Really? I was that close to a fleecy box and I just never saw it. We are going inside of there. Look at that. Blue wool. That is certainly one less thing to worry about then. You know, I wonder if I went like 25 feet that way, if I would just immediately run into torches from the other direction. I probably would. But, you know what? We're not going to worry about that right now. We are going to try and live through getting this wool and get back up top. And I'm glad now that I spent, like, hours collecting coal and cobblestone and everything just to go that additional 10 yards there. Actually, that wasn't even 10 yards. That was like another 4 to 5 feet. Jeez. It is incredible how much this horrible bedrock layer darkness just really just closes the world down around you. It's like a giant curtain has been drawn across your eyes, and your ignorance has become manifest in a lack of photons striking your retinae. But anyway, look, now it's daytime, and we're all gonna happy and smile. Well, or be happy and smile. As soon as we get the cool stuff we need to go do whatever it is we do. I think we need a cart. That's what we're doing. We're getting a cart. And we are just gonna hop in right here. And yeah, sure, the sun is dropping. You know what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of the TNT from the creeper statues and blow up the most inconvenient of these clouds. Possibly that one. Because they just really get on my nerves, and it would take forever to try and drill through that with a shovel. Whereas just planting TNT everywhere seems like a much better way to handle it. So, anyway. Here we go, continuing on our way to the Victory Monument with the blue wool. Look at that. It's as blue as that Undersky bit. That's not the Undersky, I guess, technically, but is that part that's underneath the sky there. And here we go. We are here at our wonderful little Victory Monument. Let's say green wool, blue wool, and we'll just label that the Undersky curtain. Or actually, it's a curtain of ignorance. It's also ignorance, if you want to pronounce it correctly. And we are just going to light that up with a pumpkin because I've got all of these pumpkins and I love them so much. Okay, so that leaves us with the light gray wool, the light blue wool, and the green wool left to be recovered. Well, I'm thinking since I got all that cobblestone earlier for my plans to patch up the Undersky, I might head next to the Armada thing. Of course, I didn't bring all of the cobblestone with me, so I'm going to go get that first. But till next time, y'all, this has been Joe Hills, Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.